What's your opinion on some people complaining that new cards are underwhelming and they think they should always change the meta? So there's two different parts to your statement there. There's a difference between new cards shouldn't be underwhelming and new cards should always change the metagame. A card doesn't have to completely warp the format around it in order for it to be playable. And if you missed it, I actually posted a video this past weekend on the Hoaglandia Snap channel going through the stats of the facts that most of our recent card releases for Marvel Snap have been kind of mediocre. Like just from a pure numbers perspective, we've had way more misses than hits in recent memory. The last 2 months worth of cards have been largely bad. And Marvel Snap isn't a game like Pokemon Pocket or Magic the Gathering, where they release 200 or 1,000 cards a month or whatever. So like when a Marvel Snap card ends up being not playable, it's a really big miss because it means they effectively just didn't release content for that cycle. Do we want to play out Mary? Maybe. Galactica going around the world here. They changed how Galacta works. I wasn't expecting her to buff the Soulstone there. No, she's always worked that way. I'm pretty sure she's always worked that way. Mary at worst is a 1/4. She is, yes. I think I want a Gwenpool here. I could be right to Mysterio to make Mockingbird cheaper, though. Gorgeous dead here, unfortunately. Mirror matches are sweet.
Escaped.
All right, that potentially bodes well for us. Right on time, Zabu. Welcome to the party. I guess all my 4s are still in my hand, or in my deck, so this is worth playing out here, huh? a little bit. I think I want to do this turn, so that way I can play a Mysterio next turn. Ideally, I want Mockingbird and Sasquatch to be cheap. Yeah, I'll just stay here. Get like randomly a Nihilist or something out of this Iron Patriot and be sad. Wicked. Yeah, I don't think that matters. I think it's this. This gives us plenty of stats in the center. It might be right to try and contest the left some more. Alright, I mean, you have 2 Wickeds, but you also only have 2 board slots. The shield can move here, so they're not locked anywhere. Hoping for a Squanch or a Mockingbird draw here. Nice. So I'm at 9 on the left. A Mockingbird would put me to 20 there. Twenty's probably overkill, yeah. I think they stay if I Boomer Step them. I kind of just want to be done playing this matchup.
Oh, snap.
This is 8 here, putting us to 17, so it's beating the shield. Although if I'm beating the shield, I probably am fine just playing 7 here, right? So I go to 16, still beating the shield. Oh, you know what? I should have played around Blue Marvel. Rats. Am I big enough? I think I'm winning center and right, yeah? I should have put the 17 points of power here, though, so I was tying Marvel plus shield move. Yeah, we're good. We're good regardless, but it's worth noting I should have counted Blue Marvel, and I should have put Enchantress here to account for that, so we could play for a breaker.
Victory.
Yeah, so we won the game, but these two should have been flipped to tie this. Appreciate everybody dropping by for drops for the first time. If you're new and not familiar with how those work, you just have to watch this channel or any other channel streaming into the Marvel Snap category on twitch.tv for a total of 6 hours. There's no way to do those faster to get your credits, some useless boosters, and then some volts to get you out of playing some of your high voltage chores this week. Drops are going to be running until 2 p.m. at the rollover on Thursday when high voltage leaves. So you got about a little more than 3 days. If you're just joining us here today, you're going to be able to do the entirety of those 6 hours worth of drops here in Hoaglandia. Just leave the stream up. We got you covered. We've broken 2,000 concurrent viewers on Twitch, and my plan is to continue streaming until we fall below that or until I pass out, whichever happens first. Aeroshim. Honestly, we've been playing Conquest for over 2 hours. This is our first Aeroshim opponent, so... Giddy up, cowboy. I'm just gonna go ahead and snap and play best of one against Aeroshim, because I don't find it a fun experience, so I just like to get it over with. I don't think volts are useless at all. I find playing high voltage to be largely tedious and annoying, so having to play less of that sounds great. I'd really, gamers, no making jokes about drops here being the fastest. It's really scummy and not okay. There's lots of people who aren't remotely familiar with how Twitch works. It's not funny to tell people that drops go faster. I think we're cooked with no Mysterio here. The Aeroshim experience, really. You know, I don't even know that it necessarily qualifies as a hot take, but I think one opinion that I'm very firmly developed on at this point is I think one of the most disappointing changes they've ever made, or lack thereof, is I'm really sad they decided to gut Storm so Legion could continue to be Legion. I think if you could say, Jeff, you get to swap out one change in the history of Marvel Snap, I would really like to have 3-2 Storm back so I could, like, play my mediocre Cerebro 2 deck occasionally again and have Legion get redesigned to be something less toxic. Have you tried Toxie? Nah, I didn't want to. It costs like $50 worth of gold to get Toxie early, so I'm just waiting to get her because she's probably bad anyways. Your change wouldn't be to take Goliath out back to the woodshed. One, I'm talking explicitly about undoing changes they've done. Two, I don't think Goliath isn't that popular anymore. What was Elsa's old effect? Elsa actually is exactly what she was on release in terms of text box, except on release she gave +3 and cost 2 energy.
Avengers! Assemble.
Oh, shoot. This is awkward, though, because it's gonna fill my hand. Am I okay with that? Maybe I'm okay with that. I want the energy, right? I want the Elsa trigger. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, shoot. This fills my center as well. Oh, that's super awkward. Oh, no, wait. We're good? We're good. It doesn't fill the center. I'm wrong. I can't decide. I think I want to leave Space Center. Very awkward amounts of energy here. Think we just assume that Enchantress is enough to win the left? Kick their sandcastle over, and that Mockingbird wins the right. Waiting for all of the Doom 99 triggers to tick up to find out if you won or lost the game is very anxiety-inducing. It's like, did I win? You're just, like, my brain is like trying to count how big they're going to get versus our numbers as they slowly tick, and there's the sound effect going too. The tension, yeah. Ah, my greatest nemesis, the Crimson Cosmos. Oh my goodness. I think it's Galacta. What do we think? I think I'm into it. I think I'm into it. We have priority, so Polaris can't deny us the Elsa bonus at least. Two of those hitting Hope, I think, is good for us? Question mark. Oh, sad. This wins the game unless they cannonball one of my left side cards into the center, into the right.
Opponent snapped.
I would love to play best of one. Let's do it. Dinner's ready! Come and get it! Or am I gonna get Juggernauted out of the big house?
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
So we would have won this game if Peter Parker lost his 50-50. So if Zola, would we have won it if Zola won? I don't think we were winning if Zola hit Iron Patriot, right? If Zola hit Iron Patriot, we would have been 13-13 and would I have been plus? I don't think I would have been plus 11 here, right? Because I would have been minus 10. So we would have been 16. Yeah, we lose the breaker of Zola here. So we didn't lose two 50-50s. We lost a singular 50-50. So if Pete pulls shield instead of Elsa, we win the right. But if we had hit Iron Patriot, it would have been 16-8, and they would have been 2 versus 13. So they would have been up 11, and we would have only been up 8. So only one coin flip loss instead of 2. I'm eligible to get 65 boosters from my Marvel Snap drops. Sick. We'll try not to spend them all in one place, Twitch. Does a Scream counter deck exist? So one of the reasons why the Scream deck is really good is because it doesn't really have any polarizingly bad matchups. It's a deck full of generically good cards that also have some synergies while also playing a mix of the best tech cards in the game. Time travel and the old Professor X mood. Miniaturized Lab's actually pretty mediocre for us, because it means I won't be able to Mysterio across the whole board next turn. Moonstone's a 1/6 at least. That is an awesome draw. Means I could do this. I think it's just this. This does expose Moonstone to Shang. Is plus 12 enough here? Plus 12 loses to Thanos, so I probably need the Galacta bonus here. We win the left, yeah. Cool. Yeah, we were beating Thanos. Oh, wait, is it a tie because of the Madripoor? I totally forgot to count the Madripoor. We don't lose, thankfully, but LOL. Silly location variants. Give them so many points on the left side. So that's going there. I think we're Elsing. DC is good for Mysterio at some point. Ooh, that's a fun one. So I get to go this now. This kind of locks me out of... This kind of locks me out of being able to put the shield into here more, but I think that's fine. Oh gosh, Reality Stone Clench.
This land can never be fully known.
Rest in peace.
So the problem here is with them showing misery and death, that means they're a Killmonger deck. So I think that means I want to pivot off of being in on my 1-drops. I think it's this. I think I want to play around Killmonger. It's gonna be sad when we die to a different tech card, but I think it's correct to try and dodge Killmonger here. punished for playing my big card in the center when they didn't play for there. Or not. Sometimes lucky rubber ducky.
Victory.
Will you play the Elder Scrolls 4 remaster off stream? No, I'm a responsible adult, which means I don't buy 200-hour RPGs that I know I'll realistically never play. Don't let my wallet hear that. Yo. You know who you are. You know you deserve to be called out. If you are not going to install and play a game for hours long that day, stop buying games at their retail price. Like by the time you finally have time to play whatever game it is you're buying, it's gonna be on sale. Yes, not to mention bug, especially for single player games. Like single player games especially. Waiting for bug fixes is busted. Well, that was a very proactive Killmonger. Sad to see Kitty go, but like, it's kind of nice to see it happen early.
Victory.
Hey, look, there's a Mysterio in my deck. I was starting to think maybe we needed to double check that he was in there.
Opponent snapped.
But Jeff, my games library is seeing better returns than my 401k right now. I mean, you're not wrong. Winterfell, thank you for the 24 months. My boys have finally hit an age that's old enough where they appreciate my my Steam library being shared with them, so that's been nice. I think my middle guy has played. I think my middle guy has now played more of my Steam library than I have. Well, we're gonna draw a Mockingbird next turn. Yeah, I think this is the line. I think we Galacta. I assume they're not Killmongering because they played the demon, but if they have a death, it's probably worthwhile. All right, probably not Killmongering. So she is free 99. I think I just want to compete for all three. That's close though. Because we're exposed to Shang over here. So if we're potentially getting shagged here, I want big stats here. And this is adding 17 here up to 22. So if they shang us here, they would need 8 here to beat Squanch, which seems unlikely. And we're adding 12 over here on the left, so. Ooh, the tech card gamer didn't have his tech card. Didn't have their tech card. And we're winning the center, yeah? Like, I can't, like, it really makes me chuckle to see Shadow King flip up as one of their handful of unknown cards. Like, it's actually just oops, all tech card score in Misery Thanos. Be gone, interloper. All right, gamers, we're winning games with Kitty and the Squanch. Feels like it could be a 90s sitcom. All right, I'm gonna throw the deck list up on screen. We're gonna take a brief pause for the cause to let some adverts roll. We're definitely playing some more of this when we get back because it has a bunch of my favorite cards in it. Thanks everybody for hanging out and dropping here in Hoaglandia today. If you're watching on the YouTube side right now, tap the like button. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps the content reach some more people. Appreciate the over 100 folks that have done that already. Have you gotten Toxie? And I have not. I decided I did not want to spend gold to get her faster because she's probably bad. I think we'll get her tomorrow morning. Has Conquest felt better recently? Conquest, I think, is worse than the ladder, but it's better than the ladder when there's a feature location. So, we're playing Conquest because I really don't want to deal with feature location deck building. Sir Chancelot, thank you for the 1.5 years. Appreciate the prime. Welcome back. Everybody's having a wonderful start to your week on this Monday morning. Be chilling, playing some Marvel Snap all day here. I haven't opened up the news yet, so far it's doing okay. You know what? You know what's not doing so far okay, Windbaggus? Speaking of our 401ks. Down she blows. Up, down, life's like a jump rope. Doot, 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 doot. It's more fun if you scream. I was actually, so like, I've talked about growing up Catholic in the past, and like, I don't have any active ties to the church, but I'm pretty sad to hear that the current Pope passed away. He was incredibly progressive in a number of ways. For non-American, what's a 401k? A 401k is the primary retirement account engine most Americans have, and it is tied very heavily to the stock market. So when things happen that put the market into volatility, it impacts people's future prospects for retirement. Most Americans who have retirement have their retirement in 401ks. You're correct that under capitalism, many Americans don't have retirement. That is also accurate. You're right. I should give the quantifier there. Speaking of money and 401ks, I appreciate folks hanging out through the slightly extended ad break. I'm going to just mention it because I know they're a little bit longer than usual. I'm doing 3-minute ad breaks instead of 2-minute ad breaks this week because speaking of things that are down, this is currently the ceiling in my main floor and where the toilet is supposed to be in my master bath. We had this back up and leak on us last week, so we are extracting what personal value I can get from capitalism during drops this week to assemble my home back together. Holding you hostage to fix my bathroom. That is accurate. My toilet exploded, have slightly more heads than normal. Yep. Fats McGee, thank you for the 16 months. Welcome back. Appreciate it. How does it work in the USA when it comes to insurance? So I have homeowners insurance, and there's a good chance that they would cover some of the cost of fixing the damage to my house. However, your insurance in the United States has what's called a deductible. I don't know if that works the same in other places, where basically I have to pay a minimum amount before the insurance will cover anything. And my homeowner's insurance deductible is $2,500 USD. Meaning I have to pay $2,500 out of pocket. And then if I actually use my homeowner's insurance, my rates will go up, and there's a chance that if you use it too frequently, they will non-renew your policy. So we're about a little over 3,000 USD into repairs for the mitigation plus clearing the clog cost us. I'm gonna take a mulligan on this game. All locations suck. It's only one cube here. We're about 3,000 USD into the mitigation and clearing the clog. And I've got quotes coming out to put it all back together. But realistically, it's not that much damage. So like if the quotes to put it all back together are like somewhere in like the $2,000 to $4,000 range, I'm better off for my family just paying the 6, 7, 8 grand out of pocket rather than, I'm gonna take a mulligan again here on Crimson Cosmos, rather than using the insurance. Yeah, the insurance basically exists in the United States purely in case the house burns down. Like if it's not like solidly into the 5 or 6 figures, you're generally better off not using it. It's a good system, really. Hopefully they play into Feast, and then I can Elsa plus Kitty next turn. Nailed it. Oh, I think it's this. I think it's this. Is it crazy to Elsa plus Captain this turn? I think so. Because Captain's just a lot less useful once Elsa's on the board is the thing. if you recently renewed your homeowner policy and then they drop you, you could just get quotes from other places to avoid the hike. Yeah, but then, like, it's also not free from a time perspective to go through all of that, right? Like, you have to, like, spend time on top of coordinating with contractors. You then have to coordinate with the contractor and the insurance company to, like, figure out what they're willing to pay for and how much exactly you're going to get for it. Like, it's really not just as simple as, well, you just, like, say if they're gonna drop you, then you go with someone else. Because, like, it adds a whole bunch of other logistics on top of it.
Behold my mighty hand.
This looks good, right? Because then I'm gonna put the Galacta bonus on Red Guardian, actually, I think. And then this can pull the shield out here, so I won't be locked at any of these. I'll be able to play to all of them next turn. And playing all my cards out makes the Ronin smaller, so I can even contest the right here still. Do I want a Gwenpool over Red Guardian? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, probably. So they're gonna lose 6 here. They're locked in the center, yeah? I'm winning the right, yeah? With the Galacta? Yeah, sure am.
Victory. Oh, snap. Opponent snapped.
This is actually, we've been playing Conquest for almost 3 hours today, and this is our first opponent who's wanted to sweat 2 to 8. Let's do it. The thing that's puzzling to me about stays like this is, like, if you're gonna grind this game out 2 versus whatever, like, why did you stay in the game we played before it? Like, I understand wanting to be, like, as competitive as possible in Conquest to, like, play it out, but, like, they definitely should have left the game before this one. Like, if they wanted their best possible chance to win, it definitely didn't involve staying in the previous game. Yes, they basically lost the previous game to known information. Is exactly the point I'm trying to make. Galacta right, Carter middle. I don't think my Carter needs Galacta to win the center. Is the reason why I'm sequencing like this? I think it's this. I think it's this. I will see. I guess they're a Carter deck too, so they could contest this in the center, having a Carter of their own potentially. Oh, we've got a pretty good spread of numbers here. I think they have a pretty hard time in the negative zone, but of course all their cards cost 2 less here, so. To go another round with Mitch here. Cool. Yeah, you know, Shang-Chi and their Surfer deck. Often comboed with Juggernaut in the same lane. My favorite deck, Shang Surfer. Shang-Chi plus Zabu is basically a 3-cost card, right? It's not quite how it works for them, unfortunately. I mean, if any of the cards in our hand were gonna eat an icebox, Mockingbird is probably the best one to have hit it for us, yeah? All of our 4s are in our deck too on this Zabu beam. We can only get 1 point into here. Maybe Iron Patriot will help us out. We'll see here. What do we think of holding the shield for a turn to block an acid arrow on the right? God, my brain is huge! Absolutely massive, gamers. Even better. Like a book. Oh, like a book. Close their stream. Yep. See, I feel like they're gonna try and clog me left this turn. It's a damn shame I can't play 2 cards out. I wish this hadn't been Icebox now. Ah! Unlucky! Should have doubled down. Should have doubled down. I'm gonna teach everyone at home the most valuable lesson they are ever gonna get. So listen up, gamers. I don't think playing against Clog is going to be fun for an entire match of Conquest. So I'm gonna leave. If the game you are playing is not fun, you should stop playing that game or start playing it in a different way. So rather than sitting here and feeling frustrated and annoyed, I'm just gonna go back to my silver ticket and play a different matchup. Find some joy. When do we get the fun tier list? Airship's at the bottom of it. Strange Supreme is coming as a new anti-clog card, which should be sweet. I know it's a deeply low bar when I say this, but there's a good chance that Strange Supreme's our best card to release this month. That is true. Strange Supreme is probably a card Clog wants to play as well. So there's probably going to be more Clog in the short term, is accurate. Strange Supreme says your created cards. Oh my gosh, does he? Does he not work on cards your opponent created and sent over to your board? That would be so deeply sad. How is he templated? Merge one of your created cards. I think that just means a created card on your side of the board. I don't think it means explicitly one of your cards that you made. Among your cards that are created would be my interpretation of that. I can see why you're reading it the way that you're reading it, but I'd be very surprised if that's how it's implemented. Okay, so opponent is playing Lady Deathstrike Screamers for people who aren't familiar with their deck. Which means our left side is in danger this turn. Our deck would be much better if we could draw Mysterio. I think it will be one of the biggest flubs in Marvel Snap's 3-year history if they don't run new and returning player incentives with the economy rework at the end of the month. I think it'll be an especially opportune time for Marvel Snap because if Pokemon Pocket releases 10 new EX Pokemon for their new set, they're going to have a lot of disgruntled players. I would wager upset with their economy. So if Marvel Snap had a fresh positive economy rework and a new and returning player incentive, it would allow them to capture a good segment of players, I would wager. Strange Supreme is Brode's answer to all the cards he likes to put in your hand. Mood. Unironically, and I know I hate to have to say this about a mobile game when people are so optimistic about it, but if Pocket releases a set with 9 or 10 EXs in it again at the end of this month, their economy is going to be one of the worst in the industry for digital card games. It is not remotely sustainable or cheap. I have absolutely communicated my thoughts on returning player incentives a second dinner in private. I like to bring it up in public too because it creates pressure. What does that mean? For people who aren't familiar with Pocket, EX Pokemon are the most expensive cards inside of Pocket, and they've been releasing more and more of them. Is the TLDR. I think I'm giving up my Ice Cube to try and get the Iron Patriot discount. TLDR. If Pocket releases 9 to 10 new EX Pokemon every single month, it will cost upwards of 200 plus USD to get their cards on release, and you won't even be guaranteed to get all of their cards on release because there's a lot of variance in the booster packs that you open. How often does Pocket release new sets? They've been doing every month. Yeah, Cap's got to eat one for the team here, unfortunately for him. Oh, I don't know that we can win the center here is the problem. I think we're probably okay over here. This is the best I could do middle, yeah? Technically, this is better. So it's Shang resistant. Oh, they're killing us on the right. Okay. Hey Jeff, if I'm only missing a few older cards and I have a bunch of keys, when stat packs come out, should I just go for collection complete? I mean, there's no special reward or prize for getting collection completed Marvel. I clicked the wrong button, sorry opponent. So like, there's no reason to just be like, I should spend resources to say I'm collection complete. Like if you want to play with older cards that you're missing, spending resources to get cards you want to play with is fine. And you get a discount on them if you're buying all of them. But like, say for example, there's 5 cards you're missing, and you only want to play with one of them. Should you spend 4,000 tokens per card to get all of them, saving 2,000 tokens per card if you only want one of them? No, probably not, because then you spent 20,000 tokens to get one card you wanted to play with versus 6,000 to just get that card. We were talking about the possibility of new and returning player rewards when the economy change happens at the end of the month, Ben. In about a week. The patch next Tuesday. You may want to play with another card in the future. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like, it really just comes down to personal subjective measurements, Derek. It's like, do you think this is something you might like in the future? If yes, then you could get it. But, like, you shouldn't spend just to get one thing, right? The upside to getting cards is in case of buffs or rework. Sure, but again, this goes back to the too many people, when they give advice about what cards you're supposed to get in Marvel Snap, they just tell you these cards are good right now and these cards are bad right now. And I genuinely think that's some of the worst advice you can give people when it comes to the Marvel Snap economy. Is you really, if you are someone trying to figure out how to spend your limited resources in Marvel Snap, you should absolutely be spending your resources on cards that have designs and play patterns that you are excited to play with. You should not be like, oh, I don't like this card, but it's good right now, so I'm going to get it. Because Marvel Snap does pretty regular balance passes, and things that are good right now aren't going to be at the tippy top for forever. They're probably not going to be unplayable, but you have to ask yourself, would I be happy still having this card if it's just one of many good things instead of the very best thing? Is the kind of key difference I'm trying to relate here. I feel like I might have to punt the left getting Vipered or something, so I really don't want to play into there. What's hard for me is knowing how good weaker cards will be later. So, like, I think Infinity Ultron is a fantastic example of a card where you should execute exactly what I'm talking about. So Infinity Ultron is objectively very bad right now. It's one of the worst cards they've released in a long time, both by the numbers and in my subjective opinion. However, it's a really unique, novel design. So if you like the idea of what Infinity Ultron does, these created cards, it's a very worthwhile thing for you to pick up when you can get it with resources, because it's eventually going to be, there's no way the numbers on that card stay the same. And I don't know exactly how long it's going to take for them to get it right, but I absolutely would be shocked if in the next OTA or two we don't see numbers go up or down in that card in some way that make it better. Harry, thank you for the 44 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. We could get full clogged on the left here and just be dead. Maybe I'm supposed to juke the shield left this turn because of that. Play around like Titania Viper stuff. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I messed up. I should have juked the shield to the left. I assume we're dead here. Maybe they flub the center with the with the Mysterio. Probably not. Nacho Lewis, thank you for the 17 months. I don't usually like to end on a loss, but we've been playing this deck for a while, and I think I'm ready to move on to something else. This deck's like the quintessential just okay. Iron Patriot honestly felt kind of mediocre in here. He's a card that feels like Iron Patriot has solidly left I'm a generically good card and is more I'm a card you need to build around a little bit. And honestly, with the fact that Strange Supreme is probably gonna put more clog into the metagame, I think I would swap Iron Patriot for Jeff in this deck. The card from him was consistently whatever. Jeff has good synergy with a bunch of things this deck has going on. I think I would make that swap. But I think Jeff over Nightcrawler is better because there's been a good bit of Killmonger, because like tech cards are everywhere. So we're gonna leave this one in the deck editor. We'll probably revisit it with Jeff later.